was real personal for sure. It's a really good representation of Dad and who he was. I saw a lot of things, a lot of images, video that I'd never seen of Dad. I heard some incredible thoughts from his friends that they had never shared before. So me and Kelly, I think, both learned quite a bit about our dad.
NASCAR fans, imagine this. It's Daytona. The air's thick with tension. Engines rumble like distant thunder. And out of the garage walks a man in black. Not a driver, but a force with eyes hidden behind mirrored shades and a mustache carved in stone. That, folks, was Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, the Ironhead. But on February 18th, 2001, that force vanished in a heartbeat. Or did it? Because now, over 20 years later, Dale Earnhardt speaks again in his own voice. In Amazon Prime's jaw-dropping new docuseries, Earnhardt, the man behind the myth, finally tells his story. And it's not just checkered flags and wrecks. It's a tale of broken homes, brutal choices, and children desperately trying to connect. You think you know Dale Earnhardt? You've seen the black number 3. You've heard the stories. The Intimidator, the champion, the rough-and-tumble racer who feared nothing. But what if we told you the most powerful Dale story wasn't about winning? It was about trying to be a dad. This series doesn't just resurrect a NASCAR icon. It shows him in a different light and humanizes him. Trust us, it'll wreck your heart more than Turn 4 ever could. Are you ready to witness Dale Earnhardt's magic? If you're a new fan of NASCAR, you are in for a treat to get to know a legend who shaped the sport. Let's get into it. Amazon Prime just dropped the first 2 episodes of a brand new 4-part docuseries called Earnhardt. And y'all, this isn't your average puff piece or highlight reel. This thing is a straight-up time machine, diving into the dirt, the danger, the legacy, and the loss of one of the most feared and beloved figures in sports history. We're talking grit. We're talking about ghosts. We're talking about a man who built an empire with busted knuckles and a broken heart, and changed NASCAR forever. The first episode of Earnhardt wastes no time getting to the roots. It opens not at Daytona, not in the winner's circle, but on a humble farm in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Dale Earnhardt's voice comes through. Gravelly, southern, grounded. I didn't grow up wanting to be famous. I just wanted to make a living doing what my daddy did. That daddy was Ralph Earnhardt. A dirt racer, a grinder, a hard man who died way too young. Dale Sr. wasn't even 30 when he lost him, and from that moment on, Dale drove like a man possessed. There's raw footage in the doc of Dale bombing down short tracks in the late 70s. He's got that look, the mustache, the cold eyes, the aggressive wheelman attitude, and let us tell you, the dude had no chill as he said, "You gotta rattle a few cages to get noticed." He didn't just rattle them, he kicked them down, pissed off half the garage, and climbed up the ranks the hard way. Bruises, black flags, and all. By 1980, he was Rookie of the Year. By 1986, he was a 2-time champion. And by the time the 90s rolled in, Dale Earnhardt was NASCAR royalty. Now, you know the car? Black Chevrolet, silver trim, white number 3, like something summoned from the shadows. The documentary covers how that partnership with Richard Childress Racing transformed Dale into the Intimidator. Fans cheered him, haters booed him, but everyone watched him. And when he strapped into that black car, he owned the track. He pushed, he bumped, he even bullied, but he won. His goal was 7 Cup Series titles that tied him with Richard Petty. But he didn't care about being liked, he cared about respect. Then came the pass in the grass. One of the most iconic moments in NASCAR history. Dale's car goes flying into the grass on the front stretch, and somehow he still leads the lap. It's chaos, it's controversy, and it's Dale. But what the documentary reveals, that moment caused a massive fracture behind the scenes. Drivers like Jeff Bodine, Bill Elliott, even Darrell Waltrip, guys Dale raced with for years, were furious. They went to Bill France Jr. and essentially said, "It's him or us." Dale nearly walked away. He was that fed up. But in true Earnhardt fashion, he stayed. He raced harder. And he won 4 more titles. Now here's where things get real. Episode 2 changes the tone entirely. We don't just hear from the fans or the pit crew. We hear from Dale himself, from Dale Jr., from Kelly, from those who knew what that glare was hiding. This is the Dale Earnhardt we never saw on TV, the one who struggled to connect with his kids, the one haunted by his own father's legacy, the one who finally softened just before fate took him away. This isn't a racing story, it's a human story. And once you hear Dale's voice again, you'll never look at that number 3 the same way. So we're not just watching Dale Earnhardt the driver anymore, we're seeing Dale the father, the friend, the flawed human being, and man, it hits hard. Dale Earnhardt Jr. opens up in ways he rarely does. He talks about growing up estranged, barely knowing his dad, then suddenly being thrown into his world when Kelly, his sister, said, "We're moving in with Dad." And it wasn't a Hallmark reunion. Dale Sr. was strict, tough, barely talked to his kids unless it was about school or chores. Dale Jr. was desperate for attention and connection, but his dad's way of bonding was handing him a wrench and pointing at a busted race car. Yet something happened around the late 90s. Suddenly, Dale started smiling more, joking, supporting Junior's career. He was proud. You could see it. But then came February 18th, 2001. The doc doesn't glamorize it. It doesn't exploit it, but it does walk you through that fateful Sunday. The 2001 Daytona 500. Michael Waltrip, driving for Dale Earnhardt Inc., was out front. Dale Jr. was second. Dale Sr. was third, blocking like hell to protect them. Final lap, turn 4. A tap from behind. Earnhardt's car shoots up the track, into the wall, head on, 180 miles an hour, and then silence. Later, the news hits that Dale Earnhardt was gone. Michael Waltrip, his team DEI driver, recalls finding out in Victory Lane. And Dale Jr., he ran into the hospital hoping it was just a concussion, hoping they'd say he'd be okay. But they didn't. And just like that, NASCAR's greatest warrior was gone. But here's what makes Earnhardt such a powerful series. It's not just about what Dale Earnhardt did. It's about who he was becoming. In one haunting moment, we see never-before-heard audio from Dale in 1994, right after winning his 7th championship, and you can hear it in his voice. He sounds tired, reflective, almost like he sees what's coming. "This one's for Daddy," he says. "I miss him every day." The doc paints a picture of a man who had finally found peace. With his family, with his fame, with his demons. He wasn't just a race car driver anymore. He was a father, a mentor, a builder of something bigger than himself. And then, it was taken away. But the legacy? It's still roaring down the front stretch every Sunday. Perhaps the most emotional moment in the whole series is also the quietest. Dale Earnhardt Jr. sits on camera and listens to old voicemails from his dad. One of them is just Dale calling to say, "Hey son, proud of you, call me back." That's it. But in that single message, you feel everything. The years lost, the love buried under bravado, the healing that came too late. Dale Jr. tears up. So do we, and so will you. Look, whether you're a die-hard NASCAR lifer or someone who's never watched a race in your life, Earnhardt is required viewing, because it's not just about speed, or trophies, or rivalries. It's about identity. About a man who carried the weight of a sport on his shoulders. About a father trying to fix what his own father left broken. About a legend who finally found peace, only for fate to write its final chapter before he was ready. Dale Earnhardt Sr. didn't just race cars. He raced time, he raced doubt, he raced death. And in the end, he became something more. A symbol. A ghost. A voice still echoing through the walls of every garage, every grandstand, and every black number 3 diecast sitting on someone's shelf. Earnhardt isn't just a docuseries, it's a resurrection. And Dale? He's still intimidating. Even from the other side, he wasn't just a racer, he was a myth in motion. He made grown men flinch with a stare, bent steel to his will, and wore that black number 3-like armor. And the story of Dale Earnhardt Sr., the Intimidator, didn't just end on that final lap. What do you think, NASCAR fans? Have you watched the documentary yet? What was your favorite moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this discussion rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more interesting stories and updates from everything NASCAR. Do share this video with your friends. Until next time, keep the conversation going on, lucky doggone track.